Good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to a terrific Tuesday. Let's empower ourselves by having a manifestation. Let's visualize our dream and let's see it coming true as if it's come true right now. So, more power to our dreams. Let's go for it. More power to us, more power to our dreams. Let's start our morning with a beautiful book, Creative Visualization. So, day before we read the 4 points that we must be sure to have creative visualization, which is basically to manifest, to look at a mental movie, right? And then we also spoke about yesterday how it's very important for each one of us to be away from a spiritual paradox, how people have some perceptions, but ultimately it's about something else. So now let's understand. Is Shivani here? Okay, she's not yet here. So let me start reading. Is there anyone else who would wanted to read? Because I have a sore throat. Maybe we can start with that and then she can join later. If yes, raise your hand. If not, I can start. All right. So making creative, Bharatandan. Thank you, Bharatji. Can you please read for all of us? So making creative visualization is part of our life, and let's go for it. Thank you.
Making creative visualization part of your life. As you can see from part 1, the basic technique of creative visualization is not difficult. The important thing is now is to learn to use it in a way that really works for you, that helps you to make positive change in your life. In order to use creative visualization most effectively, it's helpful to understand creative concepts and learn some further techniques. The most important thing to remember is to creative visualization, often to make it a regular part of your life. Most people seem to find it works best to practice it at least a little every day, especially when they are first learning.
1 second, Bharji. So now we spoke about the power of 3, right? The first thing we wake up in the morning, that is the way we have divine love manifestation meditation. Because in that, it's making you creatively visualize. So see how far you've come, making you feel accomplished, which is a reality. And then you seeing your future. The more you're giving, the more you're getting, you're holidaying like never before, and blah, blah, it goes on, right? So the scripted thing which you can use for creative visualization. Again, at night, I requested all of you to make your own manifestation audios, which you hear and you meditate on that and you sleep to that. Now, people who are on the go in the middle of the day, again, 5 minutes or 3 minutes of even that empowers your visualization. The more you can visualize, the more you can create. So that's what even in life they say pictures are more powerful than words, right? So that is the reason why we all supposed to do it more often, especially when we are beginners. Once you're professionals, like as in create visualizers, it'll happen as a part of your body and your life any which ways. Yes, let's continue.
I suggest that you have a regular creative visualization meditation period for 15 minutes or so each morning when you wake up and each evening before sleeping. These are the times when it is most effective, as well as the middle of the day, if you can manage that. Always start your meditation period with deep relaxation, then follow with your visualization or affirmation you wish. There are many different ways that creative visualization can be used, and it's up to you to remember to try them at appropriate times. Conscious creative visualization may mean a new way of thinking and a new way of living. As such, it will take some practice. Try it out in a different situation and under different circumstances, and use it as often as you can for any type of problem solving. If you find yourself worried or puzzled about anything, or feeling discouraged or frustrated about a problem, ask yourself if there's a way you could use creative visualization to help you. Form a creative habit of using it at even appropriate moment. Don't feel discouraged if you don't immediately feel totally successful with your creative visualization. Remember that most of us have years of negative thought patterns to overcome. It takes time to change some of these lifelong habits, and many of us have some underlying feelings and attitude that can slow us down in our efforts to live more consciously. Fortunately, creative visualization is such an innately powerful process that even 5 minutes of conscious, positive meditation can balance out hours, days, even years of negative patterns.
Let's understand what's happening. Before we go into creative visualization, always remember breathing is centering, balancing, aligning us. So even if we do 3 conscious deep breaths, we are kind of centered. We are in the moment. We are away from our mental chitter chatter. Now, the minute you do that, and if you consciously have periods of 3 to 4 to 5 minutes every other day, every other time, you will realize that you're becoming a creative visualizer consciously. Now, what's going to happen? Innately, all of us are built with negative programming. It takes time to change those habits. But the minute you do that powerful 3 or 4 or 5 minutes visualization, in interspersing it in throughout the day, you realize that somewhere deep down, your subconscious mind is changing. It's not going to happen in a day or 2 or 3. It's going to take a couple of days or maybe weeks. But the good news is that patience counts. The good news is that your integrity counts. The good news is your commitment counts. Let's be patient. Yeah, let's continue, please.
So be patient. It has taken a lifetime to create your world the way it is now. It may not necessarily change instantly. With perseverance and a proper understanding of the process, you will succeed in creating what seems like many miracles in your life. 2 things I have found most important in my growth process with creative visualizations are regular reading of inspiring and supportive books, and that helps to keep me in touch with my highest ideals and aspirations, and or that can give me encouragement throughout difficult times. I usually keep a book by my bed and read a page or two each day. Having a friend or ideally a community of friends who are also so keen into learning to live more consciously and who will support you and help you in your efforts. Attending regular occasional conscious classes or workshops, support groups, or therapies can be an important way of getting this type of support and giving it to others as well.
So all of us are doing the 2 things. We all have a book by the bedside. I presume we have. This is what we discussed initially, that before we sleep, we either look at the magic book, because magic book is over for all of us. But I said, let's keep that and mirror work as a coffee table books or like a bedside table books. Look at whatever practice, be grateful, or just read something, and that's when we sleep. So remember, we set 2 hours of no mobile or no blue light world. So you can read something inspiring and sleep, right? Because then that'll what will be construing in your mind. Similarly, now all of us have this Sangha. We're reading every single morning. In fact, the first 3 hours of our morning are important. And in that, we are creating something which is so conscious, which is we're in a consciousness classes, right? This is what these workshops are all about. These Karyashalas, these workshops is all about raising our frequency, making us realize that, oh, we are love and light. We can do everything that we want. And that's why we made the sub-sanghas. So Bharat, are you part of the sub-sangha or not yet? The smaller core groups?
Not yet, ma'am.
Not yet. So then, Alona, if you're here, please add Bharatji in your sub-sangha. And everyone, let's understand that you have to have each other's back. If you're friends in a sub-sangha, it's your responsibility. Even if you may be an angel, you may be a guardian, you may be looking to affirmations or just gratitude. But even your dreams of each other, you are supposed to keep motivating. That's why I said the Sunday call is important for a community. So very, very important for all of us to be tuned in. Now let's understand further. Yes, please.
In the following chapters, I give you many different techniques, ideas, exercise, and meditations. Choose the ones that feel right to you and seems to work for you. There are many different levels and approaches to the creative visualization process, and I have tried to include a wide variety of possible practices. In any given situation, one may be appropriate and another may not. Follow the flow of your own energy and use the ones that you feel drawn to. For example, in a certain situation, you may try to do affirmation and find that you simply can't repeat them, or you don't feel they're accomplishing anything. In that case, you might want to try a clearing process or get in touch with your inner guidance and ask for clarification, or just let go for a while, focus on other things.
So clearing
What
process is also equal to tapping process, which we are doing in every way. Kabhi kuch work kare, kabhi kuch work kare. Kabhi when you're upset and absolutely distorted, you probably want to affirm, no, all is well in my world. I'm radiating in this energy. I'm love and light. I'm a super channel. I'm attracting all things wonderful. You know, you try to clear, you switch yourself from this to that. Yesterday, somebody asked for a switch words, PDF, and Shivani had shared also. So either we use switch words, switch moods, switch therapies. We've gone through all of them, right? So either we do that, or we start doing an affirmation, or we start doing our manifestation or a clearing process. Or some of us who are already aware of our inner guidance, if through unified, we ask a higher self. There are so many things for us to move away from negativity. Negativity will not stop coming in your life. It will come, but now it will not make a difference because you will know how to scratch it from the surface and move it away. You're like, it's not going to work on me because I don't want to go in the toxic zone. Toxic people will come, but you will not attract them as much because your vibration and what you're attracting, what you're magnetizing is far different than what you were before you began the journey. So always trust the process of life. Yes, Bharat, let's continue.
what works at one time may not at another. What works for one person may not be for another. Always trust yourself and your own deepest intuitive feelings. If it feels like you are forcing, pushing, exerting effort, or straining, don't do that. If it feels helpful, releasing, opening, strengthening, enlivening, inspiring, do it.
Very important. This is very important. So अपने आप को push नहीं करना है, force नहीं करना है. Initially, you have to get into a habit and just say, okay, I am getting in a habit. कहीं शुरू में विश्वास नहीं होगा, but you have to continue doing it because you're building your muscle of belief. So very important. And the minute you start doing that, you're like, yeah, it's liberating. Oh, it's making a difference. Oh, my life is already showing difference. Oh, I'm opening up. Oh, I'm strengthening up. And then it's great. Now we're coming to this most amazing and most profound chapter, being, doing, and having. So those of you who've read The Greatest Secret by Rhonda Byrne with me are very familiar with this. And those of us who aren't familiar with this, we will again go from the grassroots level so that none of us are lost, right? A lot of us are new, a lot of us are old. However, we will teach and understand from the beginning. So let's understand what is being, what is doing, and what is having. So over to you.
We can think of life as containing three aspects, and we can call those aspects being, doing, and having. Being is a basic experience of being alive and conscious. It is the experience we have when we are fully focused in the present moment, the experience of being totally complete and at rest with ourselves. Doing it moment and activity. It stems from the natural creative energy that flows through every living thing and is the source of our vitality. Having is the state of being in relationship with other people and things in the universe. It is ability to allow and accept things and people into our lives to comfortably occupy the same space within them.
Okay, let's break it down. There are three paths to this, three paths to life. First is being. एकदम grassroots level है, basic है. If I'm being human, that means I'm being alive. That means I am love and light. Whether I see darkness or whether I see hatred or whether I see anything, whatever, right? It is living my life. I'm being Prachi. So I'm being a human. It is whatever I'm seeing, whatever I'm focusing. It's a lot about the power of now. Every moment, the time is only constant, right? It keeps changing every minute. I'm reading about being. Next minute, I can't, replicate what I've read done a minute ago. Nobody can replicate. We never have the power to go back unless and until you're doing time travel, which is again metaphysics. In real life, you can't do that. So what is now? What is happening? Abhi kya ho raha hai? Are we complete? Are we whole and complete? Are we rested within ourselves? Or are we completely agitated? So what are you being? Are you being anxious? Are you being happy? Are you being joyous? Or are you being, expectant? What are you being? That's your first level. Second level is doing. क्या कर रहे हैं हम? For example, we right now in a book reading club. We are in a transformational workshop. We are logging on in the morning. We're doing exercises. We're reading something. We're working on our mind intellectually, physically. It's a holistic group. Now, this time, when you're doing, remember the creative energy is always flowing through us. Because if we are doing something, that means we're choosing to do something. That means when we always have a choice, it means we're creating something. When we're creating something, now this is when the most powerful thing is, because you are in the present right now. Number 3, having. Now, what is having? You are having a relationship with your books, you're having a relationship with your life, you're having a relationship with your mind, body, soul, you're having a relationship with things around you, you're having a relationship with people around you. Whatever the universe has given us, we have a relationship. Even we have a relationship, we're having energy within us, and we're having a relationship with energy outside. This is most important, again, in a part where it allows us to take things the way they are. Jaisa hai, badhiya hai. If we want to change right now, then we're going to be doing an activity. Having mein kya hai, jo hai, aisa hi hai. This is how it is. So are you comfortable with it or are you not? So our life has a triangle: mind, body, soul. Our life has a triangle: being, doing, having. 3 is the number of creation. Everywhere we will find 3 things. Without being, without doing, without having, a human being can't complete. So we are complete because we have these 3 parts of our being. Let's understand this further.
Being, doing, and having are like a triangle where each side supports the other.
This
They
is
are
how
not in
we all
conflict.
are. One second. This is how we all are. किसी भी एक के बिना दूसरा complete नहीं हो सकता. I can't be a human being if I don't do anything. If I don't have anything, I can't be a being. Similarly, if you compare, we are not complete without either side of them. So the 3 sides are very important, and that's what make a triangle. Otherwise, life will be a straight line, or maybe just like in a curve, and we will not know how to go about it. They never conflict each other. They always have each other's back, and they coexist simultaneously. Yes, please.
Often people attempt to live their lives backward. They try to have more things or more money in order to do more or what they want. So they will be so that they will be happier. The way it actually works is the reverse. You must first be who you really are. They do what you need to do in order to have what you want. The purpose of creative visualization is to connect us with our being, to help us to focus and translate our doing, to deepen, expand, and align our having.
So let's stay on this page. What is a creative visualization? हम क्यों क्रिएटिवली विजुअलाइज करते हैं? एक तो होता है ट्रस्ट द प्रोसेस ऑफ लाइफ, जो हो रहा है बढ़िया हो रहा है, आई एम ओके विद इट. अच्छा दिन आ रहा है, अच्छा आ रहा है, बुरा आ रहा है, बुरा हो रहा है. एक हम बोलते हैं दैट जो हो रहा है अच्छा हो रहा है, बट वी आर क्रिएटर्स, वी हैव एनर्जी, we can make things work for a better of us by creatively visualizing. So that पहली बात तो हम अपने आप से कनेक्ट करें कि मैं कौन हूँ, मेरा पर्पस क्या है लाइफ में, मैं मदर अर्थ पे क्यों आया हूँ. अच्छा, नाउ व्हेन आई फाइंड द पर्पस, सो एक तो हमारे फाइनेंशियल गोल्स हो गए, फिर जो भी मटेरियलिस्टिक गोल्स हो गए, एक हमारे स्पिरिचुअल गोल्स हो गए, एक हमारा बॉडी हो गया. सो 3 पार्ट्स वहां भी है. इट इज हेल्पिंग अस कनेक्ट विद हु वी आर. इट्स हेल्पिंग अस फोकस एंड फैसिलिटेट आवर डूइंग, कि हम क्या कर रहे हैं. हम कॉन्शियस जाते हैं, हमको थोड़ा हेल्प भी करता है. और लास्टली, we become deeper people. The more we go inward, the more we understand life. We find our alignment in our life, expanding ourselves, deepening our learning. That is what we are doing in being, doing, and having. Are we all clear? Or if there are any questions, please feel free to write them down so that I can address them. I have a little sore throat, so thanks to Bharat, we have been able to read. The next chapter is very beautiful. It's called 3 Necessary Elements. Again, you will always find 3 everywhere. Now, what are these Let's understand. Today we're in the most important journey where we're reading very, very important chapters. So earmark this day very important. Bharat, yes, please, let's continue.
Three necessary elements. There are three elements within you that determine how successful creative visualization will work for you in any given situation. Desire. You must have a true desire to have to create that which you have chosen to visualize. Ask yourself, do I truly in my heart desire that goal to be realized? Belief. The more you believe in your chosen goal and the possibility of attaining it, the more certain you will do it to do so. Ask yourself, do I believe that this goal can exist? And do I believe that it is possible for me to realize or attain it? Acceptance. You must be willing to accept and have that which you are seeking. Sometimes we pursue goals without actually wanting to attain them. We are more comfortable with the process of pursuing. Ask yourself, am I really completely willing to have this?
Now I'll give you an example to make you understand this concept a bit better. पहली बात तो हमने कल भी देखा था, परसों भी देखा था, that one desire, one dream we have to have. अगर हम एक जगह जा रहे हैं, imagine हम एक गाड़ी में बैठ गए and we're driving somewhere. कहाँ जा रहे हैं? Destination has to be in mind. That's when you can take this route, that route, that route. Otherwise, you'll go round and round because you don't know where to go. So very important in life, desire होनी चाहिए. This is where I want to go. जब तक desire नहीं होगी, पेट में fire नहीं होगी, we can't achieve it. Second बात, विश्वास होना चाहिए. So ask yourself these questions. क्या मैं really चाहती हूँ ये चीज पूरा करना या मेरे family surrounding बोल रही है? Do I want to do it or am I doing it because of them? So let's talk about weight right now. So do I want to lose weight or are my parents or my spouse or my family members telling me to lose weight? So do I really want to do it? Second, do I believe I can lose this much of weight or do I believe I can pursue my goal? और शेख चिल्ली की बातें लग रही है कि नहीं ये तो impossible, I can't even attain them. Do I realize it? That am I comfortable with it? Like, do I really want it? Third part is acceptance. या सपोज अगर वेट की बात करते हैं, मे बी मैंने जाने अनजाने में अपने वेट से फ्रेंडशिप कर ली. I'm comfortable in the body that I live in. So am I really completely willing to change the weight? To change the weight, I will have to change my lifestyle, my entire system. Am I really ready for it? These three elements is what is called our intention, our sankalp. अगर ये तीनों एक they're in alignment, so whatever आपका संकल्प हो रहा है strong. But जब तक इनमें से एक भी question mark का reply no है या maybe है, आपकी intention होगी but पूरी नहीं होगी. So why do you think New Year goals don't work? People make them without realizing that they do really want it, and then थोड़ा बहुत करेंगे उसके बाद backfire कर जाता है. So very important to understand this. Yes, Bharat, please read.
The sum total of these three elements is what I can call your intention. When you have strong intention to create something, that is, you're deeply inspired it, you completely believe that you can do it, and you are totally willing to have it. It is very likely to manifest in your life in one way or another. The clearer and stronger your intention, the more quickly and easily is your creative visualization will work. In any given situation, ask yourself about the condition of your intention. If it is weak or uncertain, look more deeply to see what your doubts, fears, conflicts, or concerns may be. Sometimes your hesitation may be an indication of feelings and belief that need to be acknowledged and healed. In some cases, hesitation may be an indication that this is not a truly appropriate goal for you.
Okay, let's stay on this page, sir. Very important to understand that agar in तीनों में से one thing is also not there, our boat will just sink. We will rock our boat and we will just make it go away. If we really want to manifest, we have to have a very strong, clear intention. The more stronger, the more clearer, the more clarity you throw into it, the more you feel it, the more deeply you look into it, and the more you're comfortable with it, you will make it come true. But if you have doubts, fear, anxiety, conflicts, or anything which is not in a good feeling zone, you will never be able to make it come true, because then whatever you're feeling is what that will come true. Remember, ये एहसासों की दुनिया है. क्या एहसास है, क्या फीलिंग है, वो मैनिफेस्ट होगा. तो हम ऊपर से बोल रहे हैं कि अरे ये हमारा ड्रीम है, और अंदर से बोल रहे हैं नहीं, आई एम कंफर्टेबल, या ऐसा है, इट्स ओके, व्हाट एम आई एक्सपैंडिंग ऑन, नाउ दैट विल कम ट्रू. Sometimes goals have to be challenged and looked deep within. Do I really want this goal? Am I ready for this goal? Then come down to intention, right? Okay, thank you, Rahul sir, for this beautiful book this morning. Thank you, Bharat, for your reading. Let's do our sun salutations. Let's take some blessings from our sun, and then we'll move into tapping into wealth.
The Surya Namaskar with mantras. Om Mitraye Namaha. Om Ravaye Namaha. Om Suryaye Namaha. Om Bhanave Namaha. Om Khagaye Namaha. Om Pushne Namaha. Om Hiranyagarbhaye Namaha. Om Marichaye Namaha. Om Adityaye Namaha. Om Savitre Namaha. Om Arkaye Namaha. Om Bhaskaraye Namaha. Salutations to the universal friend. Salutations to the resplendent sun. Salutations to the energy that induces activity within us. Salutations to the one who illumines. Salutations to the sun moving across the sky. Salutations to the giver of strength. Salutations to the golden cosmic self. Salutations to the Lord of the dawn. Salutations to the son of Aditi, the cosmic mother. Salutations to the benevolent mother. Salutations to the energy that we praise, and to the one who guides us to salvation. The sun salutation now with the names of the postures, both in Sanskrit and English. Pranamasan, Hastuthanasan, Madhahastasan, left leg back, Ashvasanchalanasan, Parvatasan, and hold this position, and now slowly progressing into the deeper version of Parvatasan, Adho Mukh Shvanasan. Ashtang Namaskar, Bhujangasan, Parvatasan, left forward Ashvasanchalanasan, Padahastasan, Hastuthanasan, Pranamasan. On the right side, prayer position, raised arms pose, hand to feet pose, right leg back, equestrian pose, mountain pose, hold mountain pose, and slowly moving into the deeper version of mountain, the downward facing dog. Salute with 8 limbs. Cobra. Press back to mountain. Right forward, equestrian pose. Hand to feet pose. Raised arms position. Prayer pose. One round of the sun salutation with awareness on the breathing. So exhaling our hands to the chest, pranam. Inhaling as we bend back. We exhale as we fold forward. Left leg back, inhale as we're arching back. Exhale into the forward. Hold the breath for knees, chest, chin. Inhale as we arch back. Exhale into the forward. Left leg forward, inhale. This is a back bend. Exhale whenever we bend forward. Inhale as we bend back. Exhale hands to the chest. And on the right, deep breathing, exhale. A deep inhale. A long exhale. Right leg back with an inhale. And exhale. Hold the breath. Inhale. And exhale. Right leg forward with a deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale.
So wonderful. After taking our sun's blessings, let's move on into creating our wealth, tapping into wealth. Let's go for it. So yesterday we were talking about Kathy, how Kathy had difficulty in working in her life, how she was being, pushed, judged, how she made herself into completely guarded position, how whatever she attempted came into disastrous form. She didn't know how to go about it and what she went through, how she was going through resentment. So Bharat, we're on second paragraph. Let's start from Kathy couldn't understand. So let's start from there.
Kathy could not understand why things have turned out this way and felt a lot of resentment towards her staff, who used every last vacation day each year. Yet, with all of these sacrifices, she also didn't have advance in ways that were commensurate with the work she put in. She was practically triggered by one woman in her office, who often played the role of a damsel in distress, but was able to get her raises and promotion because she always asked for them. In addition, Kathy scornfully noted that her co-owners were always being rescued and taken care of her by her husband. I pointed out how much judgment and criticism she directed at someone who had exactly what she said she wanted most.
1 second now. So all of us, let's understand, Kathy is a very empowered woman. वो बोलती है कि जो मैं कर रही हूँ, मैं अपनी holidays भी use कर लेती हूँ in helping somebody, I'm filling in for somebody. उसके मन में ये है कि अरे I need to work hard, and she's sacrificing, and then she's comparing the other woman who's playing a damsel in distress. Oh, I need a vacation. Oh, I have to look after this. Oh, I have to do that. And her husband is also pitching in for her, helping her. And that lady is going up the ladder. Whereas Kathy is where she is. So why is this happening? जब Kathy ज़्यादा hard work कर रही है, वो उसको promotion मिलना चाहिए, लेकिन उसको नहीं मिल रहा, co-worker को मिल रहा है. क्यों? Ask, believe, receive. Kathy judgmental हो रही है उसके लिए कि उसका husband ये कर रहा है, वो कर रहा है, उसको counterpart life में नहीं मिल रहा, relationships उसको thwart हो जाते हैं, and उसको कुछ मिलता नहीं, कुछ वो मांगती नहीं है. She didn't ask for it, absolutely, Parul. So we need to understand in life, some things have to be asked for. बिना मांगे तो माँ भी दूध नहीं पिलाती. So why do we shirk from asking? This is our right to ask. So please start asking. Now we'll understand how Margaret worked on Kathy and what made a difference. Yes, please.
We tapped on Kathy's judgment and frustration about her never being able to allow herself to ask and receive in this way. She revealed that her parents were extremely neglectful, leaving her home alone from a young age. Often with no food in the house. From the age of 5, she remembers knowing she was on her own, that no one was going to be there for her, and that is she had to suck it up and soldier on. As we tapped about this, immense sadness came up and she cried for all her unmet needs and how strong and guarded she had to be at such a young age. As Kathy came through the tapping, she did a lot of self-healing. She began to honor her needs with baby steps each day by doing small things to care for herself in the way she wanted to be treated. She started taking her long overdue vacations, time and hired an additional person so her workload was cut in half. She joked, I have become quiet, the slacker, and am revealing in it. Kathy's life changed and dramatically as she started to allow herself to feel what she wanted to give herself permission to enjoy it. Within 6 months, her new attitude and attracted a new man in her life who loved taking care of her, and new opportunities opened for her at work. Sometimes these vows can be motivated by lessons taught at home. Parents may teach their sons that they need to take care of themselves, and when they get older, the woman in their lives too. Asking for help may be perceived as weak, whereas working and hard and soldering through the struggle is perceived as strong. If you want to live up to being self-sufficient, being a man, you live through the vow to do everything yourself. Many women were taught to please others and not worry about themselves and the needs because it's better to give than to receive, which also indirectly instills this vows. No matter what the reasons are for taking it, the vow to not depend on anyone keeps you from receiving all the rewards in life that you want and deserve, including wealth, despite how much you think you want it on a conscious level.
So look back in your life. If you're a man or you're a woman, what are you resonating at? Being a man, are you only telling yourself that I need to be the breadwinner of the family? I need to really work hard, give my children what they want, my wife what they want, my parents what they want. And मैं sacrificial lamb बन जाता हूँ because तो काम करना पड़ेगा तभी घर चलेगा और या तभी हमारा lifestyle वैसे बनेगा. Being a woman, if you're not an entrepreneur, if you're not a businesswoman, and if you're a homemaker, which is a very $1 million job, then what are you telling yourself? Arey, मैं तो sacrifice करूँगी this pie or this फल का पराठा, let my child eat, I can eat something else. Have you both given yourselves value enough in your life? Or are you living a life of compromise? Are you telling yourself that I deserve wealth, I deserve love, I deserve everything? या नहीं, मैं तो compromise करके चलूँगा, दूसरों के लिए करूँगा. I do not know about the cultures overseas, it's a little different. But in India, primarily, we are family people. Men or women are definitely living a life of compromise because they haven't made themselves the heroes of their life. Self-love is the most important form of love. We need to exercise and work on ourselves. So take this and understand that, have you made a vow? Have you created something for you? I don't need this. Okay, I need to do this. मैं तो ये करूँगा तो ये मिलेगा. Have you told yourself that you're deserving enough of all kinds of things? That's very important to ask yourself. Reflect within. Yeah, let's read.
Do the exercise above and really think about your memories to help determine if you took this vow to never ask and never feel your deepest needs at any time in your life or any level, however small. Often when I discuss this with clients or attendees or at my workshop, the word depression comes up, which is logical. Apart from the use of the word depression as a clinical diagnosis, you may also depress your deepest feelings, including anger, sadness, passion, and enthusiasm for life. Now be honest. Did you learn to depress some of your natural feelings and desires? Remember, you never depress the acceptable ones, like the desire to learn, achieve, and excel personally. It's one of ones you judge as the most selfish, unacceptable, and embarrassing, or those that leads to vulnerability that gets repressed. When you free them, you free yourself to improve not only your financial pictures, but also the amount of reward and pleasure in your life and relationships.
Very important to ask yourselves, मैं जो बनना चाहता था या बनना चाहती थी and वो लाइफ निकल गई, अब मैं अपने सपने अपने बच्चों के थ्रू पूरा करना चाह रहा हूँ. मैं पूरा क्यों नहीं कर सकता? अगर मुझे मास्टर्स करनी थी और मैं नहीं कर पाया कहीं पर भी जाकर, अब क्यों नहीं कर सकता? In the first Sangha and second Sangha, we had a beautiful student of ours, a co-Sangha Mitra. She finished her master's at the age of 50. Why can't we complete what we stopped that time? Why have we allowed depression to come in? Why have we allowed repression to come in? Why are we angry at what we could not do? जो कल नहीं किया आज कर सकते हैं. किसने बोला कि ऑफिस के काम के साथ पढ़ाई नहीं कर सकते? Who said we can't do this? I have 2 degrees. I'm working on 3rd degree already. And I'm also working in my factory, right? I'm also coaching. I'm also doing a couple of other things. I'm even being a parent. Who says we can't do it? Have you told yourself that I deserve to learn, to grow, to acknowledge myself? Or am I only going to be living for the others? Do you have a desire to learn? Do you have a desire to achieve? Do you have a desire to excel? Have you asked yourself these questions? Or are you judging yourself कि अरे अभी मेरे दिन तो है नहीं पढ़ने के और मैं अब कैसे कर रहा हूँ? I have been very interested in politics, but I'm going to go to the Kentucky School of Politics for 6 months course in 2025. I'm sure about it. The day both my girls go to America to study, for one for her master's, one for her, bachelor's, I'm going to go and do my dream studies. जो पहले नहीं हुआ, अब क्यों नहीं हो सकता? Who says 6 months my business can't run without me? That's why I empowered myself to join a business coach, right? So that my business can go on autopilot. Who says it's unacceptable? समाज तो बोलेगा ही, लोगों का तो काम है कहना. आप vulnerable हो कि आप repressed हो, आप free हो या आप अभी भी केज में फंसे हुए हो, आपकी फाइनेंशियल पिक्चर कैसी है, आप अपने आप को रिवॉर्ड करते हो कि आप बोलते हो नहीं मुझे पैसा बचा के रखना है फॉर टुमारो, और आर यू स्पेंडिंग? द मोर यू स्पेंड द मोर यू गेट, द मोर यू गिव द मोर यू गेट. इसको अपनी बात में अंदर कर लो. The more you treat yourself, the more you have rewards, and the more you have pleasure, the more better relationships you have, the better they will be tomorrow. Aaj invest karo without thinking too much. Feel and flow in abundance. Allow yourself to feel and flow in abundance. Very, very, very important. Allow yourselves, my dear Sanghamitras, to ask for more. इतना content होने की जरूरत नहीं है life में. जितना मिल जितनी कृपा बरस रही है बरसने दो. Don't stop. Don't become the blockages. Let's read Bharat. Let's continue.
Allowing yourself to ask for more. Why don't I have more money? Being hesitant or refusing to ask for what you want makes it hard to get it. Start by asking for what you want, what you really want. From a law of attraction perspective, when you don't allow yourself to have needs, you tell the universe, I don't need anything from anyone. I don't need rewards for all that I do. I'm willing to work hard and be strong and give and give and give and work and work and work. But I'm not comfortable receiving anything for it. In order to receive what, you have to be open to it. You have to be willing to ask. That's why it's taught that asking for what you want is the first step of using the law of attraction effectively. If there's even the slightest tendency for this kind of vow to keep from getting all your needs met, it's important to clear it out. Now, we will do some tapping about the pictures you see from your past that might have created the vow to not depend on anyone. I will use some of these more common words and feeling that people share with me in the tapping rounds. Tap along and substitute words that apply to you more. This is very, very important picture to recognize and a very difficult vow to acknowledge and break because it's taken for a reason that were often meant to keep you safe. The reasons can continue to sound very smart to your analytical mind, so be prepared for some inner resistance to letting go of this specific vow.
So I want all of you to close your eyes, everyone. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Once more, take a deep breath in and exhale. Once more, inhale and exhale. Now think of your childhood where you wanted something, you asked your parents or the elders around. Were they around? Did they give it to you? Now stay in that feeling. See how people are reacting. See your own reaction. If you were not given that, did you tell yourself, when I grow up, I will create it? Or, I do not need the love. It's all right. I can grow up on my own. I'm strong. See it. There I am. I see it all. Start tapping, please, on your head. And you know the points by now. Start tapping. There I am. I see it all. I made a vow to be strong, to not ask, to not even feel how much energy I had, how much desire I had, how much I wanted love, that hug, that kiss. that reassurance, to be treasured, to be seen. I wanted that at some point, but I had to shut it down. It wasn't safe. It was dangerous. There was pain. There was criticism. So I learned to not feel my deepest needs, my real wants. I actually refused, and instead I did something else. I unfortunately used my brains. I used my strength. I used my loving nature. I gave. And I did, and I did, and I did. There was no receiving coming my way. So I learned very slowly never to ask. The reality was that asking brings pain. What I want, I don't get, so I will never ask. Asking brings danger. Asking brings disappointment, all the sadness about this picture, all the anger about this picture. So I wanted to be seen. I wanted to be loved. They never gave me that. They couldn't give it to me the way I wanted it. So I learned not to ask. I haven't been a good receiver since. Now put your hands on your laps. Take a nice deep breath. And look at that mental picture again. Release your breath by releasing all the frustration, anxiety that you had with the breath. Once more, inhale in love and exhale all the negative emotions. If this round of tapping hit you hard and triggered a lot of emotions, maybe sadness, keep tapping on it today, throughout the day, or later whenever you have time, until it feels that the intensity has gone low and you can process the information. It's incredibly important to clear the emotions, beliefs from this vow, because it depends and determines whether or not you're willing to accept, to receive all sorts of loving, nurturing rewards from the universe, including money and wealth. Once you've tapped a few times, this picture should become a bit calmer. So understand that what are you feeling? What are you going through? Today, tap on, look at it. What were your deepest desires then? Was it probably a coping mechanism that seemed necessary for survival? Did you protect yourself, achieve your own spirit, your own dreams? Did you earn more money now? Did you earn more emotional well-being? What if you can just let it all go? And what if you ask your universe that whatever I really wanted, please change now. Please give it to me now. What if you become easy and you ask the universe with open hands, this is what I really want? Your eyes are closed. Now imagine looking up at the universe and giving your intention of asking. Completely ask, openly ask. Tell yourself, I can ask for it. Ask. Ask as much as possible, openly. Once you're sure, then now start tapping again. Even though I made this vow, that made a lot of sense at that time to never ask again. I am vulnerable. I can never be who I was. I am now a person who needs it. I never even felt my deepest desires, but now I'm going to honor it. I know it's never too late. I see the conflict it's causing, because the big thing missing in my life is more receiving, more pleasure, more joy. I want all the pleasure and joy that money can buy. Even though I took this vow and I never should have imagined it's connected to money, I totally on all the ways is blocked for me. Receiving the manifestation of the reward, the pleasure, nurturing that money represents as an energy, that money can physically purchase whatever I want. I'm open to letting go of this old vow and taking some baby steps into asking, believing, and receiving. Continue to tap now, start once more. I made a vow to never be vulnerable. I'm not sure I can let that go. I never complain about my needs and my feelings. I'm proud of that. I'm not sure how I can let it go so easily, but I'm trying. I'm taking my baby steps, opening up to receiving all the joys and pleasures, all the rewards I say I want. I actually love receiving. I love earning big, big, big money. I enjoy watching it pile up. And it's so pleasurable to spend. Spend on me without guilt for the pleasure and enjoyment of it. I'm opening to taking a baby step in honoring my power, the power that goes beyond vulnerability, the power to ask for everything when I want to manifest. I'm actually really powerful. Do I still need to worry about being vulnerable? I will always be an achiever. But what if I could receive and enjoy the reward? I'm open to healing this vow now and allowing a whole new level of receiving into my life. Now, dear friends, you can gradually open your eyes by giving a smile on your face and taking a deep, deep breath of believing that whatever you've asked, you're receiving. Rahul sir, we've already moved 2 pages ahead and we are still stuck here. We've moved further. We've done this also. Yes, so now take a deep breath and see how much that round felt when positive words came out. How did you feel? Did your subconscious conjure up some images of your past when you asked for love or some toy or something and you weren't given that? Now, yes, if that's your answer, you need to tap into the fact that you become comfortable. I am the creator. And that time मैंने unknowingly vow लिया था कि नहीं मैं नहीं मांगूंगा, but now I'm asking openly. I know I'm the creator. I know I can ask. I know I will be given that much. Thank you, Supriya, for acknowledging. Very, very important to tell yourself that, I deserve it. Let's tap to the point where you feel neutral about the old vow. It's okay. You've had that conditioning. It's fine. Accept it. And now don't judge it. Kere papa ne nahi diya, mama ne nahi diya, nana ne nahi diya, nani, dada, dadi, whatever, taya, kaka, chachi, whatever. It's all right. They were resonating with their intelligence. उनको शायद लगा कि आप बिगड़ जाओगे, आप अभी जरूरत नहीं है. उनको नहीं पता था ना कि parenting का क्या formula होता है. आज भी किसी को नहीं पता. Good parenting, bad parenting, nobody knows. So please understand that very clearly. Bharat, please read.
Those positive words came out. It can take some time for you to subconscious to process this, to have more moments of consciousness about it, and to tap through it to the point where you feel neutral about the old vow. It's one of the toughest ones to let go, or because you have amazed a million pieces of evidence that prove why that vow to never ask, never be vulnerable, and never acknowledge your feeling makes perfect sense. And this really seems like the absolute truth. It takes time to rewire how you think and operate to become open to this idea. That's why in the last tapping around, I talked about taking baby steps as you open up to receiving. You may have to tap through the rounds in this chapter many times before the old vows is clears completely. But once it is, you will open to receiving a lot more with a lot less effort in many cases. Keep this in mind as you work through it and become conscious of when you say, I will take care of it myself. I can do it all myself. That's okay. I'm strong. I don't need much. Every time you say something like that, you close yourself off from receiving. Remember, you still get to be strong and independent and brilliant, but you can also have your needs met. You can sometimes rely on trustworthy people. So your work is reduced, and so you can relax more and maybe even break down and let someone else be strong for you. You can be both self reliant and supported. So take another nice deep breath and just honor what it's like to ask and receive, and try that out in your life. Open yourself up to one small thing at a time. You might get some surprise books from friends and family, but it will feel great, especially when your wealth begins to grow.
So very important to analyze. Are you trusting people? Yeah, are you not trusting people? आपने वो conditioning करी हुई है. You can't trust people. You can't trust people. Are you self-reliant? कि मैं सब अपने आप ही करता हूँ, मुझे तो आई एम वेरी इंडिपेंडेंट, दूसरों पे तो विश्वास नहीं करता, मैं सारा काम अपने आप करता हूँ, मैं बहुत इंडिपेंडेंट हूँ, मैं बहुत स्ट्रांग हूँ. या मैं दूसरों को काम डेलीगेट करता हूँ, उनको ट्रस्ट करता हूँ, रिलैक्स भी करता हूँ, आई हैव गुड हॉलीडेज ऑल्सो जब मैं जा रहा हूँ. अच्छा, अपने आप को ये भी देखो, जब आप अपने ऑफिस या घरों को छोड़ के जा रहे हो हॉलीडे पे, क्या आप हर समय अपने लैपटॉप पे रहते हो या अपने ऑफिस से फोन पे बात करते रहते हो, घर पे करते रहते हो, ये हुआ कि नहीं हुआ, वो हुआ कि नहीं हुआ, या यू आर टेकिंग अ डीप ब्रेथ इन, यू लेटिंग योरसेल्फ एंजॉय द हॉलीडे. Now that will tell you whether you are trusting or not. Most people have trust issues. That is why they don't trust the process of life. When you disconnect from your house for a holiday, disconnect. Connect with the five senses, the elements, Mother Nature. आप holiday पे जा रहे हो to enjoy, right? Enjoy that part. Walk bare feet. Enjoy, soak in the sun. You do some adventure exercises. Bring the adrenaline rush. Are you taking a deep breath in to understand and receive and releasing your breath with all the anxiety and negative rewiring? Now, all of us have to rewire ourselves. You know, we are programmed in a particular way, we're wired in a particular way. We have to understand हम कहाँ से operate कर रहे हैं. और ये answer सिर्फ हमें ही मिलेगा because हम reflect करेंगे कि where are we. That's when a lot of our life will keep opening up. The day it will open up, you're like, oh shit, I have conditioning of being so self-reliant. Oh, I have conditioning of being so independent. Oh, I have conditioning of being so strong. मैं तो मांगता ही नहीं हूँ. That's when the magic will start. Begin to ask, and then you will see कि आपकी wealth बढ़ रही है, business अपने आप आ रहा है. अगर आप entrepreneur है तो अपने आप opportunities आ रही हैं. And then when people around me, क्या जादू की छड़ी करी है यार, my God, इतना abundance आ रहा है. Because दिखेगा ना, एकदम से आप भी lively हो जाओगे. So today, Rahul sir will send you video number 15. Please practice with the Margaret. And it's time to go on to the last book for the day. Okay, today I'm not going to be doing meditation, just probably blessings. I have a little hoarse throat if you hear. So which is why Bharat is reading. So thank you, Bharat, again for that. So any other meditation, very nicely, Shivani has been sharing for all of us. We can continue and repeat the same. So now let's take a pause for thoughtlessness. What is thoughtlessness? Thoughts are vichar jo aate rehte hain. जब विचार आने बंद हो जाते हैं, when we become a Buddha, when there are no thoughts, now that thoughtlessness is beautiful. But शायद हम लोग में से किसी ने realize ही नहीं किया वो thoughtlessness. कितने लोगों ने कभी meditate किया है जब कुछ भी विचार नहीं आ रहा है? So now we are being coaxed toward that world. Let's read the science. Yes, please.
There's an art of doing nothing intensely. The genesis of the 21st century will be those who can unplug from the unyielding flow of incoming communication, emails, texts, tweets, Facebook, phone calls, and on and on. There is no hiding place for screens. We work at them. They entertain us. They are screens by escalators in schools and in our pockets to fill in the gaps when we are not looking at permanent screens. Genius is so rare today because we are so distracted, updated, and connected. Rather than steering life, we are reacting to whatever pours in. To work intensely for long periods, you need to switch off occasionally for short periods.
Very important. That's why if we want to become a genius, we have to unplug ourselves from this world. Why do we say 2 hours before sleep time? No blue light, no televisions, no iPads, no phones. Because when you do not have that huge thing of being churned and sucked into this world, that's when you can connect with yourself. That's why it's very important to have a quiet dinner, or maybe with the family we're talking, and then work on yourself. What do you read? What do you reflect? Do you write your gratitude? Or are you doing my magic rock? Whatever you're doing. Very important to switch off. I'm not saying for long term kar hi nahi sakte. Start with shorter periods, right? Yes, let's read some examples.
Degas, Monet, and other
Impression.
impressionist painters often worked intensely with strong colors and strong sunlight from dawn to dusk. They developed a technique of taking a 5 minutes break by looking into a black mirrors made from the stone obsidian. This soothed their eyes and gave their conscious mind a break. They found that although they were not consciously thinking about the work, the machinery of their possible solutions, minds continuing wiring. They returned to work refreshed and energized. They discovered that their eyes saw more and their fingers felt more. Everything seemed richer. They were totally in the moment. No memories pulled them backwards and no plans pushed them forward. The answer to the problem that they had struggling with would suddenly become clear to them. Working 24/7 is the Western way. We are all ambitious and want to succeed. It feels wrong to stop even for a moment. It's counterintuitive, but shutting a business down for a year may be the best way for it to grow. Every 7 years, designer Stephen Sagmister shuts down his studio for 12 months. Everything that we were designing in these 7 years following the first sabbatical had its root in thinking done during the sabbatical. He has said, Simon Cohen, the founder of Global Tolerance, also made the counterintuitive choice to place his entire communication agency on a 1 year sabbatical. Global Tolerance had grown rapidly, gained high profile clients, and was highly successful. Cohen decided the company needed a rest and time to reflect, which was only going to be possible taking a year out. Logistically, it wasn't easy. Our HR people said there was no such thing a company sabbatical. It had never been done before, he said. They made arrangement to prevent their clients from being stolen by competitors, and after a year, they became the back stronger and better.
Very important to take these short breaks. That's why they say even when you're working, एक या दो रात का भी अगर आप get away कर लो individually or a couple as a family, you will come back refreshed, rewired, reprogrammed, because there'll be a freshness of idea. Static energy हो जाती है जब हम एक से दूसरे में flow करते हैं. Trust is important. Taking a break is important. Cutting yourself from mundane stuff is important. If you want creativity to really flow in beautifully, new business ideas to flow in, you've got to take a break. The most powerful ideas come to people when they're switched off from their businesses or their work or their houses. So get that very clear. Work on that. It's not so tough. Lagta hai it's tough. It's not tough at all. Taking a day or two off, of course, COVID times, I'm not saying that you will become adventurous and go out there. I mean, I'm exercising big time caution. But people who know me from before, they know that I will take 8 and 10 holidays a year because I need that break to refresh, rewire. No wonder people say, do you have 48 hours in a day? Because I do. Those 8, 10 holidays give me the fodder, the matter to think and develop myself and my businesses, because that's what is energizing me. So sabbatical is important from your activities. And I've taken so many solo holidays and they're more successful because that time I don't have responsibility of my husband or my children either. It's my time, whether India or whether abroad. It's completely my time. It's not tough. So please think about it. If you want to become stronger and better, you've got to take some breaks also, right? Yes, please, let's continue.
If you're a manager, allow employees to take a day or a week out. If you're a corporate leader, use a sabbatical system to refresh your workers. If you work for yourself, force yourself to do nothing occasionally. We tend not to rate shutting down, but it's more than just an absence of work. It's a tool for recovery. It's important to completely clear your mind. Only when you achieve this can you begin again, refreshed, to think deeply, sometimes you first have to empty your minds of all thoughts. Now and then, it's
One
good
second,
to.
one second. So very important to become an empty vessel. And हम बोलते हैं मुझे सब पता है अरे I've done it all. I'm a master in this. Oh, that's the killer. We should become empty vessels so that we are able to absorb every day something new. Work on that. Very important to work on that. Very important to recover. Very important to understand that we need to clear our mind because our mind gets conditioned. Good or bad programming bhi ho jati hai. Gualama Apollinaire says, now and then, it's good to pause in our pursuit of happiness and just be happy. So हम सब एक journey पे चल रहे हैं कि अरे happiness, happiness, happiness चाहिए. But if we are happy right now, nothing like it. Enjoy that moment. Enjoy now. जो है बहुत अच्छा है, amazing है. I'm enjoying it. अच्छा ऐसा हो जाता तो better होता. नहीं. Enjoy what you have now. Now you'll again say, what a silly question. Or a statement. Plan to have more accidents. Are who plans to have accidents? Let's understand why are accidents good. Yes, Bharat.
You spill a cup of coffee over your work, your pen leaks, or the printer goes crazy. It happens to everyone. Don't automatically discard action, but instead work with them. Go along with them and see where they lead. Use them to propel yourself forward in unexpected directions. The problem is not the action, that the problem is you. Override your pre-programmed and preconceived ideas that actions are something going wrong. You need to be more receptive to the unexpected. The painter Francis Bacon summed up the creative person attitude to change. All painting is an accident.
To chance.
Because
Painter Francis Bacon summed up the creative person's attitude to chance.
chance, okay. All painting is an accident, but it's also not an accident because one select what part of the accident one choose to preserve. In everyday life, everyone tries to avoid accident in their work. Far from being annoyed by accident, however, creative people are intrigued by them. The most successful scientists have not thought like scientists in a logical, linear way, but more like artists. If something goes wrong, they look for the right in it. Eduard Benedictus accidentally knocked a glass beaker from a shelf. The beaker broke, surprisingly and shockingly. It didn't shatter into small shards, but broke into a few large pieces. As well as being a composer, writer, and painter, Benedictus was initially receptive to accents so investigated. He discovered that the beaker had contained cellulose nitrate, which had held the shards of glass together. He quickly spotted the potential of glass that broke but didn't shatter. His safety glass first appeared in a World War I gas mask, then in the windscreen, and soon became a ubiquitous vulcanized rubber and was discovered by accident by Charles Goodyear. Rubber was too soft when hot and too brittle when cold. Goodyear accidentally spilled some rubber on his stove. It baked into hard substance, strong and pullable at any temperature. He had discovered the process of vulcanization by accident, but he used the accent to his advantage. He is considered to be the patron saint of inventors because these days rubber is present in almost every mechanical object.
So गाड़ियों में ये rubber जो हमारा बना, which can take away the wear and tear, it's by accident. Sometimes accidents work well for us. We learn something out of it. Yes, please.
The electric current was discovered by accident by Galvani, as many immunology by Pasteur, X-rays by Ronten, photography by Digurie, radioactivity by Becquerel, and penciling by Fleming. Become a student of the University of Accidents. When they invented the computer, they also invented the computer crash, the printer, the blotchy print. Every technology carries with it the potential for accident. Work with them and explore them. Accident generate new perspectives. They appeal to the creative mind because we live in an imperfect world. We are imperfect and our work is imperfect. Accident reflects reality, reality and more accurate that does perfection. Perfection is the aberration. Think of an accident as an answer in search of a different question. Work out what that different question is. It is probably more interesting than the one you were asking.
Very important. Did you see a very beautiful line in this? Become a student of the University of Accidents. So kabhi accidents ho. So look at the brighter side. Ki accident hua hai, what has it taught me? Life is not perfect. अच्छा accidents हो रहे हैं, कुछ ना कुछ हो रहा है, अच्छा है, कभी-कभी हाथ जल रहा है, कट रहा है. क्या? What is it teaching you? What can you do something differently? Napoleon Bonaparte says there is no such thing as accident. It is fate misnamed. How wonderful. Look at it in an inspirational way. कि accident क्या हुआ है? अरे ये तो होना ही था. Murphy's law. Something which has to go wrong will go wrong. So who are we to say, oh, let's control it? If a child has to first fall down and then pick himself up and say, okay, this is how I walk, he will do that. As parents, you may want your bacha nahi gire, but if he doesn't fall, he will never know the right thing of rising. In fact, it's teaching him about life. A heartbeat goes up and down, up and down. It's more static, right? Otherwise, you're dead. Similar child will go down and will go up. It will teach him so much. Let's read this last chapter. It's a short chapter. If you can't be really good, be really bad. Be something at least, right? Yes, let's read.
I watched the films of Ed Wood over and over again. Bride of the Monster, Plan 9 from Outer Space, and Night of the Goose are unbelievable. Unbelievable bad. They're also some of the poorest quality and strangest films ever made. The critics lashed every film he released during the lifetime, and they were all box office failures. But his zeal for making movies remained undimmed. Wood created a remarkable number of films. He raised the finance, produced, wrote, directed, and acted in them, often simultaneously. On film after film, he worked with the reckless enthusiasm of a child with nothing dampening his spirit. You forgive, even his worst film became, he still managed to convey his love for the trashy characters, plots, and sets. Lesser Men, I forced it to make movies under the condition Wood faced, would have given up. Wood's posthumous fame became when he was awarded the accolade of World Director of All Time in 1980, just 2 years after his death. Today, his films celebrated for their technical mistakes, movie sets, unsophisticated special effects, eccentric dialogues, peculiar cast, and bizarre plots.
Ironic that he got the award. So, if not the best, he got the worst award, that too posthumously after he's dead. That's something we should all look back. While we are living, make the most of your life. Compliment people, love them, be with them. Don't judge them. अरे बहुत हो गया judgmental, बहुत हो criticize करना अपने आप को दूसरों को. Add charm, add character to yourself, add value to yourself. Live life abundantly, yeah. And then if whatever's coming our way, if accidents are coming, bring them on. You're bad at something, okay, fine, learn from it. Right, let's continue.
These features add charm, character, and a zany spirit that are more enduring than the blockbusters churned out by Hollywood. Wood's beguiling films that have the rare attributes of sincerity and humanity, the most high-tech, high-budget ski film lack. They were produced for a pitchney with untrained actors, and you sense that everyone involved was driven by commitment, not money. Something badly done can be refreshing. Being prepared to be uncool or needy can be charming. It's a way of saying that you don't care what anyone else thinks. The world is full of people who dedicate their lives to seeing approval. They chase their vindication from others and lose themselves in the process. They try to proceed something that earns kudos rather than something they really enjoy. Aiming for critical credibility or commercial success that can be vastly more limiting than relying on passion and enthusiasm, the engine that powers creativity.
Very important for us to understand. We are people's person, so we say, but we are approval seekers, validation. कि अरे ये तुमने बहुत अच्छा किया, अरे commercial success चाहिए, अरे ये चाहिए. You're doing for people, not for yourself. Let your soul guide you. Let your passion, enthusiasm guide you. Why are you limiting that? Why are you limiting your creativity? Rely on your creativity. Just go for it. Just unleash yourself. Don't again care about the world. Unfortunately, all of us are programmed with people, people, people. लोग का तो काम है कहना, कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, right? लोग, एक सबसे बड़ा रोग क्या है? क्या कहेंगे लोग? Now that is very important. Get out of this rope, get off this line, just become somebody strong. Yes, very, very important for us to understand. Thank you, Bharat. Let's conclude this chapter.
ActionWeb was a bad website. People posted badly. It unfocused photos of junk they wanted to sell, a 24/7 worldwide garage sale. It was horrible to scroll through the visually appalling photos. One of the first times sold was a broken laser pointer of $14.83. Astonished, the founder of the site, Pierre Umbriar, emailed the winning bidder to ask if he understood that the last laser pointer was broken. The buyer explained in his reply, "I am a collector of broken laser pointers." That's when Umbriar realized that he was onto something. He had founded AutoWeb in the California 1995, which soon changed its name to eBay. eBay became one of the great new technologies company in the last 25 years because it was bad and unshamedly uncool. Omnier poured his enthusiasm into it and made it work well, but he didn't try to make it chic or sophisticated.
Very
Too much
important.
self.
One second. So
Yeah.
auction web का जो idea आया था California में, how did it come? Because somebody gave an idea that I collect all the broken stuff. Now, what is eBay? Things that are used for, now it got renamed to eBay. Whichever is not good, is unashamedly uncool. All of that stuff is there. It's neither chic, it's not sophisticated, it's not fresh. It's used, but people put it right there. And there are so many people who pick up the second products, right? So very important to understand. Too much self-criticism can paralyze you and stop you from moving forward. And unfortunately, most of us are wired with criticizing ourselves. कुछ भी रॉन्ग कर लिया, मुझसे गलत कैसे हो गया, मैं इतना भी नहीं कर पाया, अरे ये ऐसे करना चाहिए था, अरे मैं इतना भी नहीं कर पाया, मुझ में इतनी भी कमिटमेंट नहीं है, मैंने प्लान किया था बट नहीं कर पाया. People with mediocre ideas and poor taste often achieve exceptional success because they don't know when to stop. So rather than becoming a perfectionist, which is again a myth in itself, become a person who's just on this journey every single day. Please, better the errors of enthusiasm than the slick competence of the cool. जो आपके enthusiasm है उसको रखो अपने साथ सलामत. गलतियां करोगे उससे सीखो. हर समय competitive होना is not so cool. It's going to actually bring you down because you'll be criticizing yourself कि अरे उसने ऐसे किया, because you're comparing. So your competence has to be there. That's it. Winston Churchill says, success is the ability to go from failure to failure without losing your enthusiasm. Isn't that beautiful? Never lose your enthusiasm. Failure aayega, it doesn't matter. Success to kabhi nahi aayegi. Let's read the heart thoughts. So thank you, Bharat, for being the first reader on today's book, and so beautifully read. And I can tell you, everyone, Bharat doesn't read books at all. And here he's read 3 books, 3 fabulous chapters. Amazing. More power to us. Thank you, Amit, for being so proactive and saying the page didn't change. Yeah, I think Rahul sir was somewhere busy. All right. So amazing that we've been reading about this and it's time to let go. So we've been working on let go. I'm good enough. Who'll want to read? Somebody new? Bharat has read them, I think. Yes, Supriya. Supriya, read the left also and the right also.
You not only have individual beliefs, you also have family and society's beliefs. Ideas are contagious. I'm good enough. If there is any belief within you that says you can't have or you are not good enough, think to yourself, I'm willing to let that belief go I do not have to believe that anymore. Please do not struggle. It is not hard work. You are just changing a thought. You are born to enjoy life. Affirm that you are now willing to open to the abundance and prosperity that is available everywhere. You now claim this mentally for yourself, right here and right now. I deserve to be prosperous. I deserve my good. That which you have declared is already accomplished in consciousness and now becomes manifest in your experience. And so it is.
Oh, wonderful. Beautifully read. And let's be on this page. So what does this mean? It means accepting yourself the way you are. If you accept yourself the way you are right now, that is when you're willing to change. Because you accept yourself that, okay, this is great. But if you don't accept yourself the way you are now, how do you expect to change? जिसको आप accept नहीं करते वही truth बनेगा ना. Then you'll be struggling to change it. Then you'll be working hard for it. But if you say, I'm comfortable where I am, but I want to become a better version of myself, I'm willing to let this belief go that I'm not good enough. Actually, I am good enough. Then all of a sudden, your affirmations, your life, your nazariya, your perspective, your paradigm will change. All of us are born to enjoy life. Let's be open and receptive to whatever's coming our way. Let's tell ourselves that I deserve all the wishes, all the love, all the prosperity, all the accomplishments. I deserve the best. I deserve good life. I deserve a good year. I deserve a good month, a good week, a good day. And whatever I'm doing, I'm becoming so much more aware. And I am creating my manifestation. It's becoming more stronger and stronger because I deserve it. And so it is. How wonderful. Thank you, Rahul sir. Thank you, Supriya. Thank you, Bharat, once more for being the readers. Any questions? You could ask, otherwise, today, as I said, there will be no meditation. Okay, so, all right. So thank you, everyone. God bless us all. Let's see each other tomorrow in the morning at 5. Lots of love, lots of light, lots of abundance. Be blessed. Take care. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Rahul sir. Thank you, Amrita. God bless you both.